Did you get into real estate thinking that you were going to make just an enormous amount of money and that it was all going to be just really simple? And you might already know this, and maybe I'm just being redundant, but according to the National Association of Realtors, did you know that 87% of all agents are independent contractors? And that's a whole different way of doing business. It is very different mindset when you compare an independent contractor versus an employee. And most of us, let's face it, we start out as employees. Well, here are the facts. Did you know that real estate agents, after getting started, are usually out of business within 5 years, and that's 87% of all agents. Let me give you the 7 reasons why most agents fail. Number 1, most agents are failing because they underestimate the cost and what it takes to actually make the business go. You got to remember that this is a building business process. Number 2, they join big brokerages. And these big brokerages, they have a lot of fancy things to talk about, but typically it's a sink or swim environment. There's a lot of competition, and people are not always so excited about helping the next agent or the new agent get their first transaction, their second transaction, or any transaction. It's very, very competitive. Number 3, they lack business building skills as it relates to lead generation, marketing, and making certain that they follow up with the clients that could potentially be their next transaction to complete. And number 4, they're treating their clients like they are just a transaction, a money transaction. And people can sense and feel exactly what you mean when you're talking to them. So you've got to treat folks like they're human beings. Number 5, a lot of times we'll get started and we'll find a client and we will bank on that client that it is a guarantee. And so there's unrealistic expectations and failure to have a contingency plan. Like sometimes people get something in contract and then they just stop working. Number 6, failure to keep consistency in their business and to have systems that actually keep them on target. And number 7 is lack of specialization. So what I mean by that is you don't have a niche. You're just a generalist. And a generalist, that's not what everybody wants. Nobody wants the generalist. They always want the specialist, the person who knows best about whatever the situation is for that buyer or seller. If you want to be successful in real estate, I'm going to give you some solutions that could really make a difference in your career. I mean, these solutions are tried and true. This is not something I'm making up. I've been doing this 32 years, so you can trust what I'm saying. If you want to be successful in real estate, you must develop the systems that bring the leads into your business. You've got a market for that. You must become a specialized agent. And let's talk about some of the specialties you could get into. Things like probate. You could specialize in probate. It's a big business. Every person is not going to, eventually we're going to all die. So there's a lot of business in probate, but it is highly specialized. You don't just jump up and become a probate agent. You need to get the training behind that. In addition to that, you could become a certified divorce real estate expert. And that is really a specialization because you're dealing with high conflict situations. So it does take some specialized training for that as well. What about first-time home buyers? You are doing a lot to help people come up with solutions that might be obstacles for them. And so once again, that is a special category. Then we have second-time home buyers or the move-up buyers, and we have first-time home sellers. There's just an unending list of potential specializations that you could get into, including investors. And let's not forget vacation properties or the second-time home buyers. Now, let me give you a few more. What about second homes, period? Not just buying their second home where they've sold the first one, but people who actually have a second home in a new location. You could become a referral agent, or you could also become a relocation agent. All of these are specialties in the real estate industry, and the more you specialize, the more you niche down, the more success you're gonna have, because you're gonna become known for the person who actually creates the solution. Now, we talked a little bit about niching and making sure that you actually have a specialization where you become known for it. But what I want you to know is, even more importantly, is that you become financially prepared, that you have some backup, that you have a savings, or you have a 401k that you can draw on, or you have something so that you can continue to build your business until your business can support you. You've got to have the reserves. Maybe it's a spouse. Maybe you've got some family members that will help with expenses. You've got to just figure it out, but you don't go in with no money. Real estate costs money, and every business must be capitalized. It could be a month or 2 months or even 3 months before you see your first transaction. And that's even for the most dedicated folks. So I want you to make sure you have the financial backing, at least several months worth of cash, in order to sustain yourself while you're building your business. One of the last points I want to make, and it's critically important, when you start thinking and treating your business like a business instead of like an employee, which is how we've been trained. Let's just put it out there. This is how we've been trained. But when you start treating your business like a business, your business will start paying you like a business. If this hits home for you, I want you to hit the subscribe button and definitely share this information with another agent who needs to hear it. And lastly, drop a comment and let me know how you're going to get started today.